Greetings nerdlings and welcome to AmalgamNation presents World of Lorecraft, Racecraft, Troll Edition. Trolls, also known as Trollkind, are a diverse sapient race in Azeroth and can be found in every part of the world. They average 7 feet in height and 200 pounds in weight. Two exceptions to this are the Drakari and the Zandalari, who tend to be somewhat larger than their kindred. As with other races, there are also scattered trolls who far exceed the normal size range. Many trolls have no loyalty except amongst their own tribes, with the exception of the Darkspear tribe, Shatterspear tribe and Raventusk tribe, the former two being part of the Horde, while the latter being allies of them. Darkspear are the playable trolls in World of Warcraft. Although the Darkspear are the weakest and smallest of all the troll races, they are the most cunning and intelligent and can still grow to rather immense sizes. For example, Darkspear Berserkers in Warcraft 3 were larger even than grunts. Characteristics of trolls. Trolls are often tall, lanky and muscular. They have both elven and orcish characteristics with their fierce fangs and long ears. Their long arms, strong legs and quick reflexes make them adept hunters. Trolls have only 2 fingers and a thumb on their hands, and they have only 2 toes on each foot. Some trolls have a toenail on their heels. Trolls do not wear standard shoes or boots due to their unusual foot shape and their comfort in wading barefooted within different territories. The forest trolls' bodies can support plant life to a limited extent due to a mutation that took place many millennia ago. A thin layer of moss will inevitably grow on the skin of a forest troll shortly after they are born, giving them their characteristic green colouring. Their moss-like skin colour ranges from light green to blue and purple. However, the jungle trolls' bodies are covered in a short, soft fur, which causes the trolls to appear purple or grey. Although enough physical damage will kill them, trolls can regenerate lost limbs and heal grievous physical injuries at an accelerated rate, giving them a large advantage in battle. Trolls are so well known for their regenerative abilities that alchemical mixtures which induce regeneration in other races are referred to as troll's blood potions, despite not actually containing any troll blood. Militant tribes of trolls are efficient killers and have a strong lust for blood. Some may still cling to their heritage of cannibalism and voodoo. Trolls have a characteristic way of speaking. Words like yo and mon are common expressions. They speak with varying accents that resemble that of Jamaicans and Cubans. Cuban-sounding accents are more common amongst forest trolls. Legends exist that suggest the possibility that the first night elves were pioneering forest trolls or dark trolls from the north who settled on the shores of the Well of Eternity. This is confirmed in World of Warcraft, the magazine, issue number 5. Troll history. About 16,000 years ago, long before the Highborn summoned the wrath of the Burning Legion, trolls lorded over much of Kalimdor, which was then a single continent. The Zandalarians were the earliest known trolls, the first tribe from which all tribes originated. Over time, 2 distinct troll empires emerged: the Amani Empire of the Middle Forest Lands and the Gurubashi Empire of the southeastern jungles. Smaller tribes lived far north in the region now called Northrend. These tribes founded a small nation known as Zuldrak, but they never achieved the size or prosperity of the southern empires. The Gurubashi and Amani empires held some animosity for one another, but they rarely warred. At the time, their greatest common enemy was a third empire, the civilization of the Akir. The Akir were intelligent insectoids who ruled the lands of the far west. These insectoids were clever, greatly expansionary, and extremely hostile. The Akir aimed to eradicate all non-insect life from the fields of Kalimdor. The trolls fought the Akir for many thousands of years, but never succeeded in winning a true victory over them. Eventually, due to the trolls' persistence, the Akiri kingdom split in half, as its citizens fled to separate colonies in the far northern and southern regions of the continent. 2 Akiri city-states then emerged: Azjol Narub in the northern wastes and Ankaraj in the southern desert. Though the trolls suspected that there were other Akiri colonies beneath Kalimdor, their existence was never verified. With the insectoids driven into exile, the twin troll empires returned to normalcy. Despite their great victories, neither civilization expanded much further than their original boundaries. However, ancient texts speak of a small faction of trolls who broke off from the Amani Empire and founded their own colony in the heart of the Dark Continent. Their pioneers discovered the cosmic well of eternity, which allegedly transformed them into beings of immense power. Some Some legends suggest that these troll adventurers were the first night elves, though this hypothesis has never been proved. The fall of the troll empires. Aside from their shadowy origins, it's clear that the night elves came to power soon after their discovery of the Well of Eternity. Despite the trolls' attempts to keep them from expanding their territories, the night elves built a strong empire that expanded rapidly across primordial Kalimdor, wielding magics never before seen by the trolls that remained largely superstitious. The night elves had little trouble demolishing the trolls' twin empires, an act the Akir could not accomplish. The night elves systematically dismantled the trolls' defences and supply chains. The trolls, unable to counter the elves' destructive magics, buckled under the onslaught. The actions of the night elves incurred the trolls' long-lasting hatred and disdain. The Gurubashi and Amani empires fragmented within only a few short years. Eventually, the night elves' reckless overuse of magic lured the demonic Burning Legion to the world. The demons destroyed much of the night elves' civilization, though there are no records to indicate that the Legion attacked either troll civilization. It is likely that battles took place across the breadth of the continent. At the end of this conflict, known as the War of the Ancients, the Well of Eternity imploded. The resulting shockwave shattered the greater landmass of Kalimdor. The centre of the continent was blasted beneath the sea, leaving only a small group of broken single continents. Thus, great chunks of both the Amani and Gurubashi empires still exist in the present-day lands of Quel'Thalas and Stranglethorn, respectively. The Ajakir kingdoms of Asjol Narub and Ankaraj have also survived in present-day Northrend and Silitus, respectively. Both troll civilizations recoiled from the vast destruction of the world they had known. The trolls later rebuilt their ravaged cities and set about to reclaim some of their former power. The long centuries following the great sundering of the world were difficult ones for the troll race. Famine and death were commonplace within the broken kingdoms. The Gurubashi trolls, driven to desperate ends, sought aid from ancient mystical forces. Though both the troll kingdoms shared a central belief in a great pantheon of primitive gods, Gurubashi fell under the sway of a darker. Hakar the Soulflayer, a darker spirit, heard the trolls' call of distress and decided to aid them. Hakar gave his secrets of blood to the Gurubashi and helped them extend their civilization across most of Stranglethorn Vale and certain islands of the South Seas. Though he brought them great power, Hakar demanded souls be sacrificed to him daily. He wanted to gain access to the physical world so that he could terrorize and devour mortal creatures. In time, the Zandalari helped the Gurubashi realize what kind of creature they had courted with, and both forces turned against him. The strongest tribes rose up against Hakar and his loyal priest, the Atalai. The devastating war that ensued between Hakar's followers and the rest of the Gurubashi tribes was not well recorded and has mostly been passed on through oral tradition. The budding empire was shattered by the magic unleashed between the angry god and his rebel children. Just as the war began turning away from the trolls' favour, they succeeded in destroying Hakar's avatar and banishing him from the mortal world. The Atalai priests were eventually driven from the capital of Zul'Gurub and forced to survive in the uncharted swamplands of the north. Within the dense fens, they built a great temple, Atal Hakar, in honour of their fallen god, where they continued to worship and serve him. The rest of the Gurubashi tribes, separated after the Great Civil War, had left their lands in ruins. The Skull Splitter, Bloodscalp and Darkspear tribes set off to claim their own lands within the vast jungles of Stranglethorn. Though a fragile peace had settled over the broken empire, rumours of a prophecy that Hakar would one day be reborn into the world spread. The Troll Wars. One of the oldest wars in the lands of Warcraft was between the first trolls of Zul'Aman and the High Elves. High Elves founded their kingdom of Quel'Thalas over ground sacred to the trolls, beneath which lay a ruined troll city. This sparked conflict between the High Elves and trolls, and the elven magic frightened away superstitious and angry troll warbands. 4,000 years passed before the trolls began to orchestrate an earnest war against the High Elves. The trolls proved very likely to win the war, but humans arrived to aid the High Elves. Together, the High Elves and humans used fire magic to prevent the trolls from regenerating their wounds. The troll armies broke and attempted to flee, but many were chased by enemy forces and eventually killed. The forest trolls would never fully recover from their defeat, and history would never see them rise as one nation again. Troll culture. Trolls are very isolated beings. Most trolls, excluding a few tribes, one such being the Darkspear, don't speak any of the common languages. Wild jungle trolls and coastal trolls are terrible and hostile toward trolls of other other tribes. They are highly tribally spiritual. The center of a tribe's spirit is the tribe's priest or superior hunter. Other than tribes such as the Darkspear, most trolls will attack outsiders on sight, even trolls of other tribes. Uncivilized trolls live all across Kalimdor and the Eastern Kingdoms. The jungle near Booty Bay in the Eastern Kingdoms is infamous for its many aggressive jungle troll inhabitants. Most trolls speak Zandali and Common as their primary language. However, due to their isolation, some trolls have forgotten Zandali and use Low Common as their primary language instead. Darkspear trolls, having been somewhat assimilated into the culture of Orgrimmar and its surrounding settlements, also speak Orcish. Cannibalism is a relatively common troll practice. Several specific troll tribes have been confirmed as cannibalistic, including the Mossflower and Vilebranch tribes. All of the currently known tribes of ice trolls practice cannibalism. Sand trolls, forest trolls, dark trolls and jungle trolls are also frequently cannibalistic. Notable exceptions include the Zandalar and Raventusk tribes. The Darkspear tribe practiced cannibalism until they joined forces with the Horde, who forbade the practice. Not all trolls practice voodoo, but it is as widespread as cannibalism. Little is known about the emergence of voodoo among the trolls, for most tribes that possess such knowledge are unwilling to share it with outsiders. However, with the recent advent of Zandalari trolls to Yojamba Isle, many researchers have speculated that voodoo may have originated with the Zandalari. Dire trolls. A small number of trolls are strikingly larger and more heavily muscled than the rest of their brethren. Dire trolls do not have a racial distinction from the rest of the troll race. A variety of reasons might be behind this unusual size and musculature. For example, these trolls might have been altered alchemically or magically. They might also simply have evolved to be larger than average. These large trolls are not regarded as monstrous by other trolls. They are called dire trolls. Mummification. Displayed in many troll tribes, the trolls have mummified their deceased in the past. In all cases seen so far, the trolls have had the power to reanimate their dead. Sand Fury and Amani are such tribes. Other races can also reanimate deceased and mummified trolls, as can be seen in Northrend, where many undead trolls are part of the Scourge Legions. And before this vid ends, I would just like to say two things. First of all, I want to apologise for the fact that Tuesday's vid went up yesterday on Wednesday instead. I had to rebuild my entire computer and I was so tired that I did not have time to upload the vid. Sorry about that, guys. Secondly, I'd like to announce the winner of the last giveaway that I was doing for Final Fantasy VIII, and that winner is Catherine Fitzpatrick. She was the only one who entered. Out of 272 subscribers, she was the only one who entered. So congratulations, Catherine. By default, you're the winner. And as always, remember, play to game and game to play.